There are 3 players in the squad that have played in the Premier League: Hernandez, León and Giovanni dos Santos. They've got 89 more caps between them than the entire German starting 11. Julian Draxler is the captain, Joachim Löw is the coach. It is the world champions against the top team in North and Central America. And after an upset-free group stage, someone's got to go home. As our referee tonight, Néstor Pitana of Argentina. Like to be centre stage in his previous occupation as an actor. Let's hope he doesn't have to be tonight. Well, Germany let in 2 goals against Australia, conceded against 10-man Cameroon. How will Mexico look to pierce this German defence tonight? Danny Higginbottom.
Well, Mexico have conceded first in every game so far in this Confederations Cup. Without an out-and-out defensive midfielder, I think Mexico are more than likely to go out all-out attack. Whereas for Germany, they've looked nervy at times defensively, especially when in the opposition have switched ball quickly due to Germany's wing-backs playing high up. So I'd imagine Mexico, with a vast amount of attacking players, look to try and get at them.
Well, it's Germany who have tried to get at Mexico right from the very off. Timo Werner immediately on the front foot here, shutting down Moreno.
Now, these are the chances. Mexico, they are all out. Possession, they love to try and play out from the back, but what that does, that leaves them very expansive and at times open to opportunities for the opposition, especially early on in the games.
And again, conceding possession deep inside their own territory. 2 teams, by the way, scrolling across the bottom of your screen now. Aimed up towards Goretzka. Timo Werner trying to get on the end of the second ball. It was half cleared by Mexico. Can't get out of their own penalty area at the moment. Stindl is there. Goretzka is around too. Germany just can't carve open that Mexico defence. Henrichs looking to try and play it into Stindl, then looking for it back again. This is Aquino, who was very good against New Zealand. Here's a familiar name to Manchester United followers in Javier Hernandez. Winning a free kick and his 95th cap tonight.
It's good hold-up play from Hernandez. Moments before that, you saw Aquino, who'd be hoping to get up and provide support to Hernandez, dropping back near enough into the left-back position.
Morocco not afraid to go long and down the sides, Mexico, to try and open up their opponents, and with such high fullbacks as you pointed out, that might be a route to success for Mexico tonight. Moreno very tight early on. Aquino maybe suffering from a little bit of attention that was too tight.
Just a bit of a late challenge then. And Aquino from Stindl.
Used to play for Villarreal. Javier Aquino, small and diminutive, will operate from that left-hand side. Hernandez. This is Jimenez. This is Jonathan dos Santos. We have 2 today, Giovanni and Jonathan, both of whom started out at Barcelona and whose careers have gone in different directions since then. Giovanni dos Santos was once at Tottenham and on loan at Ipswich Town.
You see Alanis just out of the pitch on the left-hand side. The left-back, he's more of a centre-back, so he will support Aquino more than anything. Whereas on the other side, León, he's the one that will love to get forward. What they tend to do is one full-back more defensive-minded, because like I said previously, Herrera will play the defensive midfield role, but it's not natural for him.
This is Osvaldo Alanis, who did play left-back in the recent World Cup qualifying game against the USA. But that is a position that they've had to try and fill. Here's Hernandez. It's tackled by Kimmich. This is Hector Herrera. And this ball cut out by Sebastian Rudy. And this is Stindl. And it's a tackle from the side, which was almost from behind by Jonathan Dos Santos, which is given a free kick to Germany.
And just see Herrera giving the ball away. He's quite high up himself. One pass, and then beyond the midfield three of Mexico. And Jonathan had to come back and make that challenge. And that's a problem that Mexico will have as the game unfolds.
And by Giovanni Dos Santos. Mexico stringing passes together. Jimenez going for an effort from distance. Led by Araujo. Controlled by Matthias Ginter. And now picked up in midfield by Goretzka. And immediately Germany are powering forward. This is Henrichs, the right wing back. Goretzka! Well, that didn't take long, did it? Mexico behind again. Less than 6 minutes into the semi-final, and Leon Goretzka, who has a burgeoning reputation, has put Germany in front.
Now they were completely out of shape. Mexico. Moreno goes for a header here where he shouldn't have gone for. He never actually gets back into shape. You can see him just trying to get back into position now. Germany break quickly. Henrichs, lovely pick out. What a fantastic finish that is from Goretzka. Like I say, Mexico defensively all over the place, and there is so much space. Take nothing away from Goretzka though. Doesn't try to hit it too hard, just uses the pace that's on the ball to get it down the side of Ochoa. Fantastic start for Germany.
Well, he's been a target for Arsenal. Did have a bit of a reputation of being lethargic and injury-prone, Leon Goretzka, until he got rid of dairy, pork and nuts from his diet. He is lean, and that was mean.
And he's a multi-talented player, can play in numerous positions. A lot of people see him as a rising star, possible successor to the likes of Cruz, Cadera and Ozil. Can play deep, but as we've just seen there as well, can go and join up with play.
What a superb finish that was. And Mexico, who have struggled to start games at the pace that's required at this level, in all 3 of their previous matches, have been caught cold again.
Yeah, they never look to feel their way into the game. Straight away, they're all out of their attack. And they find themselves very exposed, especially, like I say, midfield-wise, they haven't got much defensive cover.
Timo Werner, another chance for Goretzka. It's 2-0. Mexico carved open far too easily for a second time in 2 minutes. The worst possible start for Mexico. It's perfect for Goretzka and Germany. 1 minute, 49 seconds between the goals. And it's his 3rd goal of the tournament. No wonder Oliver Bierhoff is smiling.
And it's far too easy. So simple for Germany. We talked about Mexico, the lack of a defensive midfielder. Once again, Moreno gets dragged out of position. He's having to come out, and Goretzka makes a lovely run just in behind him. And it's another great finish, great movement, and a lovely finish. That's the Ochoa to the far post. But once again, we're talking about Moreno. He's going into areas that he shouldn't have to go into, but because he hasn't got that cover of your defensive midfielders, he's been dragged out. And then what Goretzka's doing, he's waiting for Moreno to go out and then just going into the space that's been vacated by him. 2 shots, 2 goals for that man.
Told you it wasn't going to be quiet. Mexico have been mightily disappointed. The only thing that's in their favour, Danny, is the fact that we haven't even played 10 minutes yet.
And they've been used to being going behind, but when playing against a team like Germany, so good, so adapt, it's going to be very difficult for them to get back into the game.
This is the German B team, folks. Here's Miguel Layún, once of Watford, dancing his way down that right-hand side. Javier Hernandez with the cross, Jimenez underneath it. Kimmich was there just to put enough pressure. And Raul Jimenez. Herrera's nudged it out to Aquino. There still might be some life in this yet, don't worry about that. Here's Aquino, taking on Henriks, trying to force his way into the penalty area. Kimmich is across again. Timo Werner was after it. Jonathan Dos Santos trying to work it forward. He's got it back again. Aquino is out wide. Giovanni Dos Santos has moved into a central position. It's towards the far post, and it was nudged behind in the end by Jonas Hector.
He's looked very lively for Mexico every time he's got the ball. That's where you want Jimenez just looking to get in there. He's a physical threat for Mexico in the box when balls are coming in.
First corner of the game. There's not much height in this Mexico side. Certainly not a problem for the Germans. Done by Araujo, but didn't get much of a contact on it, and it was easily cleared in the end by the German defence. And they said yesterday, go on the attack. And they said their plan to thwart Mexico would be to stop them from dominating the ball, force them back. Mexico have averaged more possession than anyone else at the Confederations Cup. There's no point in having it if you don't do anything with it. Germany have had less of the ball in the opening 10 minutes of the game, but they've already scored twice. Herrera. Lanes getting it back to Hernandez, who lifts it to Layun. Now it's on to Jimenez. There's three waiting in the centre. Wasn't the most precise of crosses. Get the feeling that Germany will give Mexico a chance. Herrera. Lanes. Safely into the arms of Marc-Andre ter Stegen.
It's a good strike from Lanes. It's going to have to be something special to beat ter Stegen there. He's held on to the ball well.
And there have been some wobbles, especially in the goalkeeping department for Germany in this tournament. Bernd Leno started the first game in goal. But, it's about as useful as Jay Leno. And then there was some confusion about whether or not Marc-Andre ter Stegen had made an error in the game against Cameroon. Andreas Kopka is the goalkeeping coach and knows a thing or two about playing in major tournaments. Said that he was not at fault for Aboubakar's goal. One of the pundits have pointed the finger in his direction.
Yeah, well, as you just said, you know, Kopka has come out and he's stated that, but he's also said that ter Stegen's developed further at Barcelona. Obviously very good with the ball at his feet as well, which is as key for Germany as it actually is for Barcelona as well.
Ter Stegen usually sits on the bench and watches as Manuel Neuer commands the goal area for Germany. And that, I'm sure, will be the case again once the competitive action starts for them in September, and at the World Cup next year, barring an injury, Neuer will certainly be the number one.
So the challenge here from Jonathan. Just on Stindl. I don't think there's too much in that.
Draxler. Back by Mexico. Up by Goretzka. This is Henriks. He's the goal scorer again. Trying to keep it in. Manfully does manage to achieve that. Lost it momentarily, has got it back again. This is Hector. Draxler. Rudy and then Kimmich, who slips as he tries to find Timo Werner. Here's Guillermo Ochoa, who was working under Tony Adams for the last 7 games of the La Liga season. This is Hector. Werner trying to turn away from Hector Herrera. Over on that far side, and eventually Mexico get the throw. So I wasn't too happy about it. Here's Hector Herrera, a man from Porto, jumping forward. He's got support from Aquino. Jonathan Dos Santos has got close up with Javier Hernandez. It's still Aquino. It was a vital touch from Goretzka just to take it away from Hector Herrera, who was running onto that.
Well, they're doing very well at the moment, Germany. When Mexico getting the ball at the back, they're pressing them really high. If Mexico do beat the press and then dropping a little bit deeper, Germany allowing Mexico onto them. We've seen how high the midfield wants to get, and they're looking to get the ball back and then counter very quickly.
It is fascinating to watch, though, because this is a young German side, full of inexperience, as the boys in the studio were saying. Led by this man, their youngest captain to take them into a tournament in 105 years, Julian Draxler. Ghosting down that left-hand side, being tracked by Jonathan Dos Santos. And the ball sticking to him like glue. Hector, Timo Werner. Kimmich looking to try and find Stindl. It wasn't the cleanest of challenges by Javier Aquino.
It's good covering from Aquino. He had to get back then. Alanis, we've talked about him before. He's more of a natural centre-back, so at times he ends up going very narrow. That's why it's such a big emphasis on Aquino to get back and help out.
That lack of height for Mexico may well come into play in these set-piece events. Goretzka, Kimmich, Ginter, all lurking with intent. Draxler the taker. Germany already 2 to the good. Mid away by Moreno. And then a free kick one to take the pressure off the Mexican defence. Rudiger, the guilty party.
You see, as the ball's cleared, just gets a little bit too tight to Giovanni.
Jonathan Dos Santos. Alanis. Werner getting back to chase down and close down before Hector Moreno could release the ball. As a result, Germany have it back again. Henrichs. And Werner is on the run here. It's Timo Werner against Ochoa. And Ochoa managed to close his legs just in the nick of time. Pace and guile.
It's far too easy for Werner. Once again, they're just all over the place. Mexico. Werner always loves to play on the shoulder. Had a fantastic season at Leipzig. Ochoa this time comes to Mexico's rescue.
Well, he looks like something out of an 80s dance hit, doesn't he? Guillermo Ochoa. And he did make more saves than any other goalkeeper in the Liga last season. Draxler. Over the top of the crossbar from Joshua Kimmich.
I'm just finding it very difficult in the minute, Mexico. So the header coming in. Pushing and shoving going on in there. So the header is won by Kimmich.
Timo Werner, who just had that cracking chance, plays for the most unpopular club in the Bundesliga. And he's not entirely popular with many German fans because of a dive that he perpetrated in a game in the winter against Schalke 04. Got to win over a few hearts and minds. The way of doing that, of course, is start scoring goals for your country. Goretzka. This is Aquino. Allowed to wander past Goretzka, who lost his bearings momentarily. Giovanni Dos Santos wanted to get that out towards the far touchline. Jimenez got in the way a bit. It's better from Mexico. Herrera, Jonathan Dos Santos. Javier Hernandez trying to get it into Giovanni Dos Santos, didn't quite work. Back they come again. More green shirts. Hernandez, who has dropped deep on a number of occasions during this tournament. Jimenez, Javier Hernandez, this is where he's most dangerous though. And maybe because he was outside the penalty area looking for bits and pieces, Danny, he wasn't in the centre when the ball came in.
No, well, the interchange between Jimenez and Hernandez as well. A lot of the time you find Hernandez drifting over to the right-hand side and Jimenez will come in. So the interchanging is very good, but like you say, you want Hernandez more often than not in that middle.
Someone's got to stay in there. Here's Jonathan Dos Santos. Miguel Layun. Henriks with the header away, but he's given it straight to Aquino. Lanis needs a good delivery. Might be kept in here by Layun. Jimenez, Layun, happy with his left foot. And Lanis was following it in, but wasn't going to reach it.
Oh, it's better from Mexico, using the wide areas. Lovely ball in from Layun. Unfortunately, Mexico plays able to get there. With Germany just having the two wing-backs we've spoken about, and they play high up, they can get 2v1 down the sides, Mexico, because at the moment it's all going through the middle. And what Germany are doing really well, when they lose the ball, Draxler, Stindl are joining up with Goretzka and Rudy in that central midfield area, and they've got 4 against 3. It's very difficult for Mexico to control that area.
And Germany 2-0 in front. Mexico behind again. Chasing like one of the boys on Love Island.
You see the high press again from Germany. Stindl on Herrera. They don't want to allow Mexico to get into their stride at any part of the pitch.
Mexico have had some headaches, haven't they, trying to sort out their selection for today's game. Guardado, their captain, is suspended. Diego Reyes is injured. He's probably one of their first choice central defenders. There was a conundrum. Do they go to a back three to match up Germany and bring in the old-timer Rafael Marquez? And they will get done for pace, or do they stick with 4 at the back, which they prefer, and that's what they've gone with in the end?
Yeah, I think what you just mentioned to Guardado, I think, is a huge miss. He's captain, plays for PSV. He believes personally that he's in the best form of his career.
Layun deep towards the far post, and Aquino was coming in behind Henriks, the fullback, who had to deal with it. Watched it all the way.
Much better again, though, from Mexico. Getting the fullbacks forward, in particular Layun. Just need to get more plays into the box to try and attack the balls that are coming in. But that's the key for Mexico, getting back into this game. Switching the ball quickly from left to right or right to left, and then getting balls into the box.
Jonathan Dos Santos to take the corner. Punched away by an under pressure to Stegen. Timo Werner trying to escape. Aquino deals with it. Picked up by Layun. Dances past Sebastian Rudy. Jimenez, Hernandez. Mexico building up a head of steam here. Herrera takes a deflection, missed Jimenez, comes back out. Jonathan Dos Santos. Squeezed away by Joshua Kimmich. Uh-oh, here comes trouble. Draxler. He's got 3 inside the box. Stindl was moved up almost unmarked on the right-hand side, but Mexico have dealt with it before it got to him. Aquino. Jonathan Dos Santos, now Jimenez. Hernandez. Giovanni Dos Santos waiting, trying to pick the perfect ball for his brother. And Jonathan Dos Santos went sliding in, but it was just a little bit too heavy.
It's a fantastic ball in from Giovanni. Jonathan just can't get there. Ter Stegen, thankfully, is able to get hold of it. It's much better now for Mexico. But the one thing you would say is that when Mexico are on the attack, they're actually the most vulnerable defensively because they don't leave too many men backwards to defend.
They've shown character already, have Mexico in this tournament. They needed a last-minute equaliser against Portugal. They were 1-0 down against New Zealand and to Russia as well before coming back into those games. But this is a very different kettle of fish. Germany, the opponents, might not have the likes of Manuel Neuer, Khedira, Boateng, Thomas Müller. All of the names you would expect to see, Mesut Ozil in the Germany starting lineup, because they've been rested by Joachim Löw. But they still have fantastic ball players. Hey! 3 tournaments in 3 years meant that the manager decided that it would be right to give others a chance this time around. Not doing too badly. Here's Aquino. This is Hector Herrera. It's good work from Herrera. Hasn't been dealt with either, and Dos Santos was just maybe a millimetre away from getting that from Hector. And there is hope for Mexico, isn't there? You can see that.
Oh no, definitely they will create chances. Like I say, they're working the ball well now, switching the play quickly from one side to the other. As you're just seeing now, and these are the areas where they can get in. The only thing is you've got Jimenez there, physical presence. He's spending a lot of time out wide. When the ball's going out wide, Mexico need him in the box.
Hernandez. Left by Jimenez for Miguel Layun. Moreno. Gets it back to his goalkeeper. Just about. Aquino. Santos. This is Hector Herrera. Now Giovanni into Jonathan Dos Santos, and then Jimenez. Layun waiting to get the cross in, maybe just took too long. Jonathan does try to search for the green shirt at the back post, but everyone had got drawn further into the penalty area. When we looked at the starting lineups, one of the biggest concerns we had was that midfield area. Up to Herrera. There's a lot of weight on his shoulders with the Dos Santos brothers, who will look to get forward and help out the a three-pronged attack, but that might leave them unprotected, as we've seen already in the match. Here's Aquino, good feet by him. Rudiger is across, helped out by Kimmich, and they get it clear once again. Aquino against Kimmich, Henrichs away. Rojo back to Moreno. It's a good, accurate pass into Aquino. It's gone beyond Henrichs, but couldn't get the better of Kimmich. It's different class him, isn't he, Kimmich? Can play anywhere on the field, really. This is Jonathan Dos Santos. Herrera again, space out wide for Jimenez. Germany getting men back though behind the ball and congesting that penalty area. Needs something really accurate to find a green shirt. Offside flag was up. They are probing. Hasn't been a bad response since going 2-0 down.
It hasn't, but you can see there, Jimenez and Leon. So Hernandez just offside. But they're linking up well down the right-hand side in particular. And they are getting 2v1s, causing a few problems for Hector, the left wing back for Germany. Just going back to Kimmich, people say he should be the successor to Lahm for both Bayern Munich and Germany. He's very good on the overlap, natural central midfielder, but then Pep Guardiola converted him to a centre-back. And now, Lovo, he has played him at wing-back. Like I say, he's so versatile and looks comfortable wherever he plays on the pitch.
It's fascinating hearing from Joachim Löw in the build-up to this game, saying that he's one of the best talents that he has seen in a decade. Carlo Ancelotti hasn't shown the same degree of faith.
Yeah, and there's been a few questions asked as to why.
That's his club manager at Bayern Munich, who hasn't really used him much more than a substitute. There's a mistake here by Draxler, the captain, and Giovanni Dos Santos, after robbing him, had a chance to test Ter Stegen.
Now that's the one thing you can't do against Mexico. You can't take your time on the ball because you've got players like Giovanni to try and dispossess you.
Hector Herrera was the man who perpetrated the foul on Lars Stindl. Alanis. Jonathan Dos Santos. This is Aquino. Wanted Alanis to go further on beyond his marker. Stindl got back into a good position. It's a good touch into Giovanni Dos Santos. Big chance for Mexico. Wasn't able to take it. Hernandez keeping it alive. Here's Jonathan Dos Santos. Might have been better going with his feet. It's going to take some header to beat Ter Stegen from that sort of range.
And once again, better from Mexico. It's a great run initially from Giovanni. Gets on the wrong side of Rudy. Good save from Ter Stegen. You see Rudy trying to get back. And then the follow-up. And Jonathan, comfortable enough for Ter Stegen. Like you say, it's going to have to be some effort to beat Ter Stegen with a diving header from there.
Timo Werner scored a diving header, which he really could have hit with his feet in the previous game against Cameroon for Germany, the German number 11, but he decided to go with his head, but he was only 4 yards out. It was a similar effort from Jonathan Dos Santos, but there was much more distance to cover. This is Rudiger. Sebastian Rudy. Henrichs. Kimmich. Stindl dropping deep. Draxler. Now Hector. Germany progressing into the Mexicans' half for the first time in a while. Here's Henrichs, bit of space for him too. Aquino had to get back and try and help out because, again, there was far too much space.
And what Germany did really well, they switched the play. And this time Aquino is having to come back. He's going to talk about Alanis. He's not a natural left-back, so he's playing so narrow. That means Aquino, he's got to play not just left wing, but left-back as well. There needs to be a bit better communication there, because Aquino, you want to see him doing the attacking side of things, but when he's having to expand so much energy coming back, it's very difficult for him to get up then and support Hernandez.
Here's some space for Giovanni Dos Santos, trying to find Javier Hernandez. Usually puts those away. He's scored a bucket load of goals since leaving Manchester United for Bayer Leverkusen. The Germans know all about him.
I think you've got to give great credit to Stegen, how quickly he got off his line. Hernandez knew he had to try and get it over him, but he couldn't get it down quick enough. But that was just a simple ball forward from Mexico. Jimenez wins the ball, and you've got midfield runners looking to get beyond, and you see Hernandez is always trying to get there on the final side of things.
39 goals for Bayer Leverkusen since departing Old Trafford. Jose Mourinho wouldn't have sold him. He didn't train Monday, but he has been declared fit enough to start tonight. Away by Ginter. Stindl. Draxler. Going to play the reverse ball to Timo Werner. Rudiger penalised for a foul on Hernandez.
Good play from Hernandez, just holding the ball up well there, drawing the foul. Rudiger.
Bad news for Mexico is that Germany got 10 times better in the second half against Cameroon than they were in the first. History repeats itself. Mexico could be in all sorts of trouble.
Going forward, Germany look great. You've got Werner in particular with his pace. He's looking to stretch the game all the time, so he's driving the defence back. We've already seen the midfield of Mexico. They want to press high, so there's big spaces in between the midfield and the defence, where the likes of Draxler and Stindl in particular, and Goretzka, as we've seen from the goals that he scored, are taking full advantage.
And just saw a shot of Juan Carlos Osorio. He's the first Colombian manager to manage Mexico. He was a student at John Moores University in Liverpool. He was a coach under Kevin Keegan, and then Stuart Pearce at Manchester City in the early 2000s. He's going to have to use all of his experienced and studious know-how to get his team out of this hole.
He actually lived with the McManus family just overlooking Liverpool's training ground when Houllier and Evans with a management duo there, and that's where he gets a lot of his team selections in terms of changing things around all the time. He said that's one of the things that he saw from Houllier. He wanted his team to be flexible, wanted to keep his players on the toes, and that's exactly what he does, and the players understand why he does it.
He was peering over the fence at Melwood.
Exactly.
Get in trouble for doing that nowadays. Bit of trouble for Sebastian Rudy too.
It's a few times now. Giovanni's on the wrong side of the German midfield. This time Rudy. It's a good opportunity for him as well.
Well, these situations haven't come around enough for Mexico in the opening 39 minutes. Sagan hasn't been underemployed. He has had things to do in this first half. 5 shots on goal for Germany, 9 for Mexico, but it's Germany who lead by 2 clear goals. Herrera and Miguel Layún are lining up behind the ball. Ter Stegen has to be ready. There's been so much talk about the goalkeeping position for Germany. You will want to be concentrated here. It's going to be Herrera, and he had to make sure it was going over.
It's a good effort, like you say, Ter Stegen taking absolutely no chances. He gets it up and over the wall, probably going over the bar. Just taking no chances.
Another corner for Mexico. Jonathan Dos Santos takes it. Strong header away by Goretzka. Werner couldn't get hold of the ball, wanted a foul, not getting one from the Argentine referee. Herrera. Good touch by Jonathan Dos Santos. Needs a decent cross as well. Jimenez is coming in there. What a vital header that was from Matthias Ginter. To stop it from reaching Jimenez.
It's a huge header, this, because Jimenez coming in at the far post along with Hernandez. He had to win that.
Fourth corner of the game for Mexico. 5 minutes before half-time. Great time to score a goal. Away by Kimmich. Jonathan Dos Santos. Layun. Jonathan stretches and reaches it. His brother's just to his right. Takes a deflection across, another corner. And there have been question marks about the German defending. So far, they've stood firm.
Yeah, they have. You know, Mexico, they've settled after conceding 2 early goals. Really starting to take the game now to Germany and finding spaces.
Layun's delivery. Again, it's a corner that they don't make the most of. Those 2 Leon Goretzka goals right at the beginning of the first half have allowed Germany the ability to sit back, wait, bide their time. They don't have to force the issue. At the moment, they're heading to the final of the Confederations Cup against Chile on Sunday. Jimenez. Can Mexico do something about that? Looking for Hernandez. It was so close to being the perfect ball. Henriks cut out by Lanis. And then Jimenez working back to win it back for Mexico. Not being able to hold on to it. Got it back now. It's amazing to think that most of these players in the German starting 11 will not start the opening match of the World Cup. One of the German publications last week printed 3 possible starting 11s for the next year's competition. We've got more depth than the Atlantic.
Yeah, definitely playing for places. I think when you look at the defence, it's probably only one position. Obviously, Hummels and Boateng, they're your first choice. Midfield, Goretzka, I believe he's probably got an opportunity there. And up front, I think the way that Werner plays as well, it could work really well for this German team.
Goretzka trying to force his way past Alanis. Joined an exclusive club as well. Not many have scored hat-tricks at the Confederations Cup. You mentioned Timo Werner. He has drawn comparisons with Miroslav Klose. He's on the shoulder of the last defender. He's not a target man. He sniffs out goals. 21 last season for Leipzig. Klose is now on the coaching staff with Germany. He was talking about Werner yesterday, and he said he's 21 years of age. At 21 years of age, I was still on the roof learning to be a carpenter. Youth in abundance for this German team. And that means, quite ominously, they can only get better. Here's Alanis. Tackle is by Julian Draxler.
Seen a few times now Herrera trying to take the game. For Germany this time, it's Draxler that brings him down.
Last minute of the first half. First half which Germany steamed ahead in. Can Mexico just drag them back a little bit closer before the break? It's Herrera. It's a good strong header away. Henriks getting it further clear. Werner underneath it. Aquino is there too, and Aquino committed a foul, according to our Argentine referee, on Timo Werner.
Does really well, Werner. Initially, he looks like the one who was fouling Aquino, and he forced Aquino into the foul himself.
One minute of added time at the end of the first 45. Goretzka. This is Rudiger. Mexicans pressing, but trying to put the Germans under pressure. Morocco. Jimenez was chasing. It's a throw-in that there will be no time to take. Certainty, self-belief and consistent success. It's the German way of doing things, even with a younger, inexperienced squad. Leon Goretzka with 2 goals in the opening 10 minutes of the game.
Been linked with Manchester City as well. Similar player to Navas, very direct when he gets onto the ball, and Mexico will be hoping that he can get up the field quickly and help to support and maybe cause a few more problems for this German defence.
Light-for-light switch will go out to that left-hand side. And try to increase the attacking potency of this Mexico team, who have scored at every other game they've played in the Confederations Cup so far. Can they do it again tonight? They need to, otherwise they will be going home a little bit earlier than Germany. They'll have the 3rd place match to play on Sunday prior to the final. Moreno was criticised by Danny in the commentary box and the boys at half-time for his role in both of the goals. He had a great chance to drag his team back into the match. Javier Hernandez didn't quite come off for him. And one thing that Mexico do have, Danny, is experience. Hernandez has got 94 caps. Giovanni Dos Santos is 99th today.
He's part of the golden generation from Mexico. That's with Giovanni Dos Santos, Vela, obviously not playing at the moment, Chicharito, Guardado, suspended and a big miss, Herrera and Moreno as well.
That's a challenge by Timo Werner on Ochoa. Ochoa manages to recover. Morocco. This is Moreno. First touch for Lozano, who, despite the rumours of a move to Manchester, actually has signed a contract with PSV Eindhoven. Here he is again. It's a forceful run. It was thwarted by a German sandwich, which included Henriks, and Goretzka is now running towards halfway. Henriks again. Stindl. Looking to try and find Jonas Hector. keep the ball so well, Germany. Mexico had 62% possession in that first half. You can't say that Germany aren't comfortable with it at their feet. It's another generation of technically gifted players. It's the look on his face, isn't it, afterwards, that gets you going. Moreno. Away was by Jonas Hector. Said he remembers watching the meeting between these two in 2015. She was on this day in 2005. Sorry, not 15. He was 15. And it was a game which included the likes of Podolski, Kahn, Rob Huth, Schweinsteiger, Ballack. Ballack scored the winning goal in extra time. It finished 4-3. If Mexico were to score the next goal in this game, we could have a similar swashbuckling afternoon. Dos Santos to take the corner kick. Little flick on which then hit Hernandez more than anything else. Jimenez's flick took it into the path of his strike partner.
It's a lovely little touch in the near post from Jimenez. Even a centre forward like Hernandez, the goal poacher that he is, even he's not quick enough to adjust.
Mexico have had a bit of a problem with knockout football recently. They went out of the World Cup to a Dutch side in a fascinating game, really good game in Fortaleza at the last World Cup. 38-degree heat that day, not quite as hot here. Stindl. Oh, given away, and now a chance, 3-on-2 if they can get it moving quickly. Hernandez with Jimenez to his right, just a bit behind Jimenez, switches his feet. Hits the target, but is thwarted by Ter Stegen. Needed a better ball.
Yeah, he just needed it in front of him. Jimenez from the ball from Hernandez. Kimmich will be a relieved man because he took a chance in the wrong area. Hernandez took advantage of it, but unlike him, the pass to Jimenez wasn't good enough to create an opportunity for Jimenez to get a shot on target quickly.
Well, they want to prove that they should be talked about as one of the world's best sides. They can only entertain those claims if they take a victory from this game and move forward in this tournament. They have to take the chances that are presented to them. They've had a couple. On any other given day, they would have scored 2 goals tonight.
Yeah, the problem for them is defensively. There's no doubt about it. It's a very unbalanced squad. No defensive midfielder in sight, really. Herrera's having to play that role, but it's not natural for him. So therefore, at times, as you see this opportunity again, Hernandez getting the ball. I think Jimenez just needed it a little bit in front of him. Because he wasn't able to get it in front of him, it allowed the German players to get set in defence. Still gets his shot in. Not as quickly as I'm sure he would have liked to have. But as for Mexico, like I say, it's so at times when they are going forward, they're actually at the most vulnerable when they're attacking because the lack of defensive-minded players on the pitch for them.
Stindl looking for Timo Werner. It's Timo Werner one-on-one for the second time. And was there a little trip or a push in the build-up to that? Couldn't find the target. Was he put off illegally?
For me, 100%. He uses his pace to get in behind. We talked about it before. Werner, he's going in and he's just about to take the shot. You see Moreno gives him a little shove in the back. It makes him take that extra touch. Now, for me, there's no advantage there because he's not able to take advantage of it. So you have to bring that back for a penalty, or why don't you use VAR?
Well, they could have used the VAR. They haven't. And you would imagine, a bit like last night in the game between Chile and Portugal, that there's a geezer sitting up in the stand watching the replay that we've just seen, has clearly seen the hand on the back, and he's thought, nah, it's not enough for a penalty.
I think the frustrating thing is that I believe in that situation, if Werner goes down, a penalty's given. How many times over the years do you see a player staying on his feet in the penalty area and actually getting a penalty? Very, very little. Players have to go down.
VAR really should eradicate that. If you haven't seen the video assistant referee before, by the way, is in use in the Confederations Cup, and it means that key decisions can be checked. Penalties is one of those. Let's just say that so far in this tournament, it hasn't been without its hiccups. I'm sure given the opportunity, Danny will tell you just how much he really likes it.
I think you've been very kind regarding VAR then.
Danny Higginbottom is a fully paid-up member of the VAR Supporters Club. Header away is by Kimmich. This is Dos Santos. Jonathan Dos Santos. And he's robbed by Goretzka. Steaming forward, Timo Werner is peeled away to the left. Goretzka is being chased here by Jimenez, who thinks he got the ball. The referee said he didn't.
Just see, when Mexico lose the ball, there's so much space in between the midfield and defence because everybody's gone forward. And Goretzka is forward really well. You see, Jimenez will argue that he has won the ball, which he has. At times like that, it's the manner in which you get the ball.
It's not always the defence, is it? Both these two teams will expect to be back next summer. There is a clear pathway to Russia for Mexico in World Cup qualifying. Germany, you wouldn't have thought, had too many problems coming their way either. And they haven't had too many problems tonight either. Jimenez, the first man to go into the referee's notebook. And a chance for Julian Draxler to create another opportunity for the world champions. Draxler, and Ochoa makes the save. Trying to go through the wall.
Yeah, it's a good strike, comfortable enough for Ochoa.
It was round actually, wasn't it, in the end, from Julian Draxler. Mexico have only ever beaten Germany once, and that was a 2-0 win in the Azteca 2000 tournament of 1985. It was the summer of A View to a Kill, Madonna's Crazy for You, and Paul Hardcastle's 19. I think the Mexican goalkeeper was in the video. Makes you feel old. That's 32 years ago. It's a decent-looking cross, that, from Irving Lozano. Hernandez couldn't get on the end of it.
It's a great ball, and he just needed someone to gamble there. Say Hernandez, he just held his run. And maybe if he continued going, he might have been able to get him at the far post, but fantastic ball in from Lozano.
It was a rare summer, 1985. It was also at the same tournament where England beat West Germany, and that doesn't happen very often. Fouled by Alanis.
So he goes up for the ball. So he gets right on Stindl. And turn himself a little, Stindl. I think it's the fact of how Alanis just falls on him. Full weight.
Kimmich's free kick. Approaching the hour mark. Mexico need to get back in the game and do it quickly. Here's Javier Hernandez being chased by Sebastian Rudy, who was legitimate in the way he won the ball, according to the Argentine referee. Hector. This is Draxler. Mexico getting men back on that occasion. Moreno seems still rather far outside his penalty area at the beginning of that move. Draxler. Hector. Easy. Timo Werner glances to the officials just to check that he was onside. But he was, and Germany are closer and closer to the final against Chile. They've never won the Confederations Cup, but at this rate, it won't be long.
It's absolutely brilliant from Draxler. Not only to drift inside, but the way he gets the ball, he creates a space for Hector to get into. Give credit to Hector as well. He was cool, calm and collected. Just look at the position Draxler's taken here. He's playing very narrow. Creates a space there for Hector to get into. Just wonder there, in the first stage of play, you can see why Werner's looking, because he is offside initially. The ball then gets played to him and he has a simple tap in. But when the initial ball is played through to Draxler, is there an argument that he's offside?
Well, is he interfering with play when the ball goes down the side to Hector? No, but he is gaining an advantage by being in that position, because when the ball is then pulled backwards by Hector to him, he has earned the position that he is in by being offside.
It's another one of them grey areas. There's so many grey areas within football with the rules, and it's not black and white. Like I say, too many grey areas, especially the offside rules.
Well, that is another one which could have at least been considered by the VAR. Layun. Wide by Ginter. Here's Timo Werner. Just got his third goal of the tournament. Lars Stindl. Rudy. Deflection. Corner. Mexico had an embarrassing game against Chile the last time they played, and they beat them 7-0. They will not want to get a chastening defeat on their record here against Germany. That is a possibility if it continues in this vein. Defensively, Mexico have been all over the shop.
An interesting player, Draxler. Playing now going from strength to strength. Obviously started off at Schalke as a number 10, then replaced De Bruyne at Wolfsburg. He was at PSG. He was voted the worst player in the first half of the season just finished by players. Obviously it was a vote that no one had to put their name to it. But at PSG he needed that move, and he's gone from strength to strength.
Better as the season has come on. It's difficult to settle in Paris, isn't it? There's a lot going on. Germany are 3-0 up. Let's see if this man's goal. Here he goes again, Timo Werner. Trying to play himself into the role of Germany's main striker. It is up for grabs.
Yeah. And Rojo, he defends well at the end. You have to ask the question, he's probably 10 yards. He's 10 yards deeper than the rest of his team. Obviously he's very fearful of the pace of Werner. I think there's too much in it. Both of them having a go at each other.
Giovanni Dos Santos is off, sorry, and Marco Fabian is on. It is a switch which I was expecting at the beginning of the game. I was expecting the man who plays for Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga with German experience to play a bigger role tonight. He's more of a combative player than Giovanni Dos Santos. Again, another one who likes to get up and plays off of the front man, but he was the favourite to play alongside Herrera and Dos Santos earlier today. The manager went a different route. That route, I think, is going to end up leading them all the way back to Mexico City. Jimenez. Herrera. Jimenez might run through to Fabian. That would have been some first touch.
It would have been a great introduction for him. We've talked about the link-up between Hernandez and Jimenez. Both coming quite narrow here. The link-up plays lovely. No doubt that ball was for Jimenez. Fabian gets there to Stegen, narrows the angle again straight away. You got to say it was good positioning from him.
Herrera. Jonathan Dos Santos has found Leo. Have to be some comeback now from Mexico to avoid the third place match. By the way, he's played on the same day as the final of the Confederations Cup. Here's Draxler, Timo Werner. Draxler's run has continued. It's Julian Draxler, the captain. Held back by Moreno, goes down rather easily according to the referee. No foul given. Not for that either. Stindl. Draxler still down. Now he's got back up again. Henriks. Aim towards Werner. A vital intervention. Jimenez trying to flick it on. Rudiger. Decent effort. Fabian couldn't test the goalkeeper, but he knew what he wanted to do.
Let's get link-up play once again. Hernandez, though, he's the one, he's screaming he wanted the ball, he's not happy. And Fabian for taking that opportunity on. Once again, here we see ended up being very good defending from Moreno. Draxler in full flow.
No foul there for you?
No, I don't think there's enough in that one to warrant a foul, but it's fantastic attacking play from Germany.
Here is Rafael Marquez, who is older than Danny.
But younger than you?
He's younger than me, yeah. He's on, and Goretzka, who has 2 goals, is not going to be able to join that exclusive club of Schmitzer, Ronaldo, Romario, Blanco, Ronaldinho, Fernando Torres and others who have scored hat-tricks at the Confederations Cup.
Substitution for Germany.
Ray Chan is on in his place.
Replaced by player number 14,
All 4 substitutes have been made by Mexico, who most recently was replaced with Jonathan Dos Santos. And all these changes that are being made now by Osorio, the manager of Mexico, are the defensive-minded changes that maybe he could have started the game with just to keep them on an even keel for longer, Danny.
There was a lot of talk before the tournament started that Marquez, who's just come on, was actually going to be playing defensive midfielder, but he's been out injured for a while, but he did declare himself fit before the tournament began.
Yeah, he only played 44 minutes of football up until the start of May, from the start of May, because of a back operation that he had at the end of April. He is 38 and a bit. and is playing now for Atlas in the Mexican League. It is his third Confederations Cup. Doesn't quite have the pace that he once had. He's just gone to screen that back four now, hasn't he? Rafael Marquez, who we've seen score some cracking goals as well for Mexico over the years. Scored one in Germany in 2006, a dramatic goal at the World Cup.
He's been an unbelievable player. The teams he's played for, and I think, if I'm right, he's the only player in this tournament that's actually won it previously.
Here he is on the ball, Marquez. Minutes to go. It would have to be some unlikely turnaround to see Mexico come up with the turnaround that they need to get into the final. Fabian's trying to get beyond Henriks. Henriks comes across and manages to clear. Manis, Javier Hernandez, space here on the right side for Miguel Layún. And ter Stegen had to be at his best.
He worked it really well. From left to right, we talked about them being able to get into the spaces. That's exactly what they've done. Layún very attack-minded from right back. It's a good strike. Ter Stegen, comfortable enough save for him. It is better from Mexico, switching the ball quickly, which is what they've needed to do more in the game.
Here's a corner. Two players attacked it, a third is Araujo. And it's dug out by Ginter. He scored against Russia somewhat unwittingly.
I think actually when the corner comes in, I think it's two Mexican players that are actually getting each other's way, and one blocks the header from the other.
Lozano. And Rudiger threw himself on the ground there. Don't think he got a touch as it went through towards ter Stegen's goal.
See this initial header. It's as though I think Araujo, I think Zalán is actually getting each other's way, and Germany just about clear it.
Germany control the ball so well, don't they? They have given up a couple of chances to Mexico, and that might give Chile encouragement for Sunday's final. Yellow card for Emre Can.
It's just a late challenge from Can, and Marquez stands on his foot.
Only been on the pitch 5 minutes. Thought he was really good in the game against Cameroon and Chile as well. Emre Can, he says he's developed because of what he's learned at Liverpool. Some positive performances from him, not so positive for Antonio Rudiger. And Javier Hernandez is being taken away. Now Javier Hernandez is asking the referee to have a look at the VAR, because he believes that was not enough to engender that reaction from Rudiger.
I think if you look at that from a VAR, you can see Hernandez why he's upset, and rightly so. You know, Rudiger, and the way he's rolling around on the floor, you'd think Hernandez would actually hit him.
Well, the only way it can be reviewed by the VAR is if they think it is a red card offence. And the referee didn't think it was a red card offence, so therefore didn't take the action which would have exonerated Javier Hernandez, and the VAR are not going to draw the attention to it anyway, because that's not going to apply in that case.
And rightly so.
And that is a protection for some players now, though, isn't it? You know, the idea that their all-seeing eye is watching everything. Well, you think it is. Timo Werner might not be so sure. Here's Herrera, not a great cross, cut out by Ginter of Borussia Dortmund. Ginter again. On to Chan. Piling forward. There are green shirts getting back, but the end result was a corner. Every time they come forward, they look like they're going to cause Mexico grief.
Yeah, Werner not happy with the challenge on him by Araujo.
It does tend to get a little bit spicy with Mexico. We've got some hot-headed characters out there. Substitute Irving Lozano was sent off 3 times in the league last season. Anyone who watched the group game with New Zealand knows that they can mix it. Draxler, have some of that. Still going, Julian Draxler. Well, that would have been neat.
He's enjoying his football. What a fantastic bit of skill that is. Just leaves Leon standing. It's an incredible bit of skill.
Mexico have got the Gold Cup to play after this. They are sending a younger side to that. They did prioritise this competition. Lozano, Jimenez hits the crossbar. That might have been his way back in. They have had chances to breach Ter Stegen's goal tonight. They just haven't taken them.
Lozano in the thick of it. He's been excellent since he's come on. Very direct getting the ball. Plays a lovely ball in as well. And Jimenez does really well. It's the header. Ter Stegen can't get to it. And the crossbar comes to their rescue.
Draxler. This is Sebastian Rudy. Germany forging a path which leads to St. Petersburg. And they will play the final of the Confederations Cup against Chile, live on ITV on Sunday. Thanks to goals from Timo Werner and 2 from Goretzka in that first 8 minutes of the match. It is a young squad. One of the major pluses when you take a young squad to a tournament like this is you don't have any of that fatigue effect. It is their first taste of major tournament for a lot of the players in the German national team, and as a result of that they have embraced it.
Well, it's interesting because Löw, when he was asked, just as we're seeing the chance again, Lozano plays a lovely ball in. Jimenez does so well. Unfortunately, like I say, the crossbar just stopped it from going into the back of the net. But Löw, he was asked, you know, in his press conference about the young players, and he just said situations like the Cameroon game where we could have gone out. It helps these younger players in tournaments to come, which is what you want.
Werner's made a run. Chan, can he spot him? Still going, Chan. And Stindl had crossed into the left wing position and was completely free. But Germany didn't make the most of it, and now Hernandez is trying to get the better of Ginter. He did just enough. It was tenacious play from Javier Hernandez. Jimenez thought he was going to walk away with the ball.
It ends up being very good defending from Ginter, just using his strength to keep Hernandez out of the way and then putting the challenge in.
Change for Germany. Julian Brandt is about to come on. Jonas Hextall Hector is coming off. Brandt of Bayer Leverkusen started the tournament at right wing back. He is a winger really. Actually, it's Lars Stindl's coming off. 13, not 3. Get those eyes tested. Ter Stegen's eyes as he was watching that. Thankfully hit the crossbar. Stindl coming off and Brandt coming on means that there won't need to be too much of a shift around. Here's Draxler. It's the second substitution on the night for Germany. Rudy. And again. Ginter. And Rudy. Henriks looking for Brandt.
When you look at this Germany team as well, there's a huge amount of flexibility. You look at Stindl, who's just gone off. He's had a fantastic tournament. There's been a big clamour for him for a while for him to be in the squad. Captain at Gladbach. He's an intelligent player. Excelled as a main striker against Chile. But as we've seen, can play in a deeper role as well. And I think that's what you've got with a lot of these German players. You know, they're flexible. They can play in a completely different array of systems and are comfortable in different positions as well.
You'd think that Joachim Löw has the best job in the world as a football coach with the players at his disposal, but crikey, I wouldn't want to be doing the selecting of a 23-man squad. That'll give you a migraine. Here's Brandt. Lovely 1-2 with Timo Werner, but the ball back to him wasn't perfect.
You go back to 2006, you know, that's when they started the rebuilding process, brought a lot of youngsters through to the World Cup they were actually hosting, and they've just grown from there.
Lozano looking for Jimenez, away by Hector. The greatest clearance, not the greatest shot. Hector to Hector Herrera, and Hector Herrera fires it miles over.
See, lovely build-up play once again from Germany going forward. So comfortable on the ball. And this time, Brandt just can't get it out of his feet to get a strike.
Draxler handing over the captain's armband. He's going to take a rest. He's going to get a Mexican to do it for him. And with 10 minutes to go, he'll put his feet up and wait till Sunday. And Chile, of course, have an extra day's rest. And he's going to be replaced by Amin Younes, the Ajax attacking midfielder who scored in the Europa League against Lyon in the semi-final, which helped them go through to the final in Stockholm, which ultimately they lost to Manchester United. But what a tournament this guy's had.
He's been absolutely fantastic, and I think, you know, everybody's known his ability, but I think it's the fact of, you know, over recent months he's grown into a leader as well. He leads by example. You know, quite rightly been given the captaincy in this tournament, and he's really thrived on it. He seems to be a player that the more pressure that's on in certain games, the better he performs.
Fami out to Layun. Header away is by Rudiger. He was clutching his chest again, as we've seen already. That doesn't necessarily mean there's anything wrong.
It's just a coming together between the two of them. Rudiger, you can see, gets there first. If anything, just catches Fabio with his shoulder.
Does it irk you as a player when you see the man who shouldn't have come off worse acting as if he did?
Well, we saw that with Rudiger a few minutes ago with Hernandez, and the way he was on the floor, you would have thought that Hernandez probably would have punched him instead of just giving him the slightest shove. Hopefully he's okay. Both players do seem to be down.
And there are players in this Germany team that will be hoping to get back on the plane in a year's time. Philip Lahm, Miroslav Klose, Schweinsteiger, Mertesacker, Podolski, they've all retired from the squad that won the 2014 World Cup. Actually, that's 25% of the outfield squad that needs replacing by next summer. It might be difficult for any other nation, but not this one.
I think Rudiger will be desperate to make up for lost time as well. He missed Euro 2016 with a cruciate.
Rafael Marquez has come up from his deep-lying position to try and look for a consolation goal for Mexico. Wasn't great defending by Germany. This is Javier Hernandez working it back to Miguel Layún. It's another corner. Corner number 9 on the night for Mexico. They've had 20 shots on goal so far, Mexico. Only 6 on target. None have breached Ter Stegen. Not with form like that. Excellent reactions from the old-timer. Rafael Marquez with the header. Ter Stegen didn't know that there had been an infringement.
It was a good save from Ter Stegen. Marquez just gets in behind Chan. He does everything that he can. You can just see the frustration from him. It's a great header and the reflexes from Ter Stegen.
Through the legs by Layún. And on to Hector Herrera. Mexico have scored late goals in this tournament against Portugal when all rational thought that the game had gone to Ronaldo and co, but I think we're reaching if we think that they're going to come back from this scenario. It looks like being a rematch of the Germany-Chile game from earlier in the tournament, and I don't think there'll be too many complaints about that as a final. Herrera does well. Keeps things moving for Mexico. Lozano. Layún wanted it played square. Younis trying to get it out of his feet, doing well to do just that. And then Emre Can is bundled over. He wants to get things moving quickly, but rushed it and gave the ball away. And then Morocco did exactly the same thing. Here's Timo Werner. Younis grounded out by Marco Fabian. Jimenez. Lozano. He's looking for Javier Hernandez, but Ginter, as he has been all night, was stationed in the right place at the right time.
He's brought a lot of energy to this team, Lozano, since he's come on. Looking to just play on the shoulder. Good defending and good positioning from Ginter.
Corner number 10. Layún. Headed by Marquez. Again, it's over the top.
He's got up well twice now. Just unable to keep that one down.
It just shows you, doesn't it, how stats can sometimes skew the story. You know, you look at Mexico today, 57% possession for his side. Juan Carlos Osorio, 21 shots on goal, 7 on target, 10 corners. They're beating Germany on all the statistics apart from the one that really matters, which is the fact that it's Germany 3, Mexico 0.
I think apart from, you know, a few outstanding teams in world football, whether that be, you know, the national teams or domestic teams, I think we're going through a stage now of counter-attacking football. And that's why a lot of the time the teams that have the most possession don't necessarily win. You know, a lot of teams are prepared to sit back, allow you to dominate play, allow you to come forward, near enough setting a trap and then breaking on the counter. And that's what we've seen with a lot of teams in recent history. You only have to look at not the season just gone by, but the season before, the Premier League champions Leicester City. And they were the ultimate as in terms of wanting to play the counter-attacking football and be possession-based at times. There could be a lot of snobbery within football, the right way to play football, whereas some teams have shown that it's not necessarily having the amount of possession, but it's what you do when you've got hold of the ball.
Germany didn't need possession tonight because they got themselves in front with a cushion before we'd even reached the 10-minute mark. Not to say it's been one-way traffic, or that Germany haven't had their moments when it looks like they could be put under pressure by Mexico. Mexico have created opportunities.
Chan just has to be careful on the yellow card. Got a yellow.
Free kick, smashed in. That is next level. Might be too little too late from Fabian. But it's beaten Ter Stegen. It probably would have beaten anyone.
What a strike this is. Oh, from the second it left his foot, only one place that's going. Ter Stegen can get nowhere near it. You can say, OK, Germany weren't set up for it, and Ter Stegen weren't set up for it. Doesn't matter. That is an incredible free kick. You can just see, the minute it leaves his foot, it's drifting all the way to the corner.
Hold on a second. Here's Fabian again. And Germany scrambling back. We are in the 89th minute. Mexico aren't going to come up with the most improbable comeback, are they?
He nearly got an opportunity again straight away. You've got to say, he scored a fantastic goal, Fabian, but he's made a real difference, as has his fellow substitute Lozano as well. Let's come onto the pitch.
All three have made a difference. Even Marquez has made a difference too, in terms of his aerial presence at set pieces. Again, they were all selection issues that were talked about. Here's Fabian. Herrera. A goal now would make it interesting. Lozano. Here's Marquez. We've got 3 minutes of added time. Kimmich intervening in a crucial moment. He's now got the captain's armband on Kimmich. Trying to take the pressure off. Timo Werner will do that. Amin Younes is joining too. Timo Werner. Blocked. Brandt. Chan. Onto Amin Younes. This will finish it. Amin Younes settles it. Germany are in the final of the Confederations Cup, and no one is stopping them now. They may lack a little bit of experience, but they have the German gene. Winning is in their DNA.
And once again, Mexico caught out the pace of Werner, gets him behind the back four, then they're all running back towards their own goal. Never really gets set. Chan just has a presence of mind to play the ball to Younes. He just strokes it into the far corner. Great finish, great build-up, and like I say, Mexico trying to get back into the game, leave themselves open. And the pace of Werner is always going to cause problems, and that's a lovely finish into the corner from Younes.
Well, it will be only the third time that Mexico have lost since Osorio has taken over in game number 28. But it's not every day you come up against a side as good, as ruthless, as clinical as Germany. Here's Javier Hernandez. And did he kiss the outside of the post?
It's good play once again from Mexico, still looking to try and get another goal. Hernandez gets that yard. I'm not too sure whether it actually hits Ter Stegen or it's actually Rudiger, and the shot on the way through that it comes off.
It hit something, didn't it? It's out for another corner. Miguel Layun. Good header! And a good stop by Ter Stegen as well.
It's a great header, this time from Jimenez. He gets up unmarked, and is comfortable enough for him to sit for Ter Stegen. It's a good header.
Crikey, what a balmy end to what has been one of the better football matches of this Confederations Cup. 5 goals. There's always goals in Sochi. Let's hope that continues in the World Cup. And only a couple of seconds now before the end of the game. And Mexico will have to reflect on yet another knockout stage outside South America. And Central America too, where they haven't been able to capitalise. Copa America Centenario last year was an opportunity for them to mix it with the best of their region, not necessarily their continent, and they came up short. They have come up short again. But what a team this is. What a squad, what a nation. And they are peaking at the perfect point. When do they not? Germany are through to another major final, courtesy of goals